All right, what's up, guys? So we're doing another interview today with a student named Jacob, and so I'm really excited to do this interview because he has been crushing it lately. So Jacob, thanks for hopping in and joining me on this. So let's just first start with your background because I already know you've made 10K in profit since you joined 8 weeks ago, and we're gonna get into that. But I first want to talk about kind of how you started as a trader, what that journey was like, because you do seem pretty young, which is great. So why don't you give me a little background on kind of when you started trading, how long ago that was, and kind of how the first how your trading was up until the point of kind of when you found us.
So I was interested in it throughout high school, but I hadn't like fully committed. I think until I at least fully tried until I graduated. So I graduated in 2020. I tried a little bit. I dabbled with it. I wasn't really too serious. Kind of messed around. Took a little bit of a break because I was doing some other stuff at the time, and then I started picking it back up in I think it was like late 2021, basically started 2022. And I took it a lot more serious then, and I had met some people that like I thought knew what they were doing, and we would kind of like try to bounce ideas off of each other. I had a very up and down experience from 2022 and 2023. It was very I would go up, 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 up because I thought I knew what I was doing and get murdered. And 2 years of just going up and going down and just nothing consistent at all, and basically wanting to quit. I was like, I got to do something else. I didn't really want to give up, and I had came across your videos on Twitter, is I think where I first saw something from you. Went on your YouTube. I was just going through all your videos on YouTube, man. I was just clicking through all of them, watching them all, just trying to see if there was something I was missing. And it was at that time that I was kind of having a falling out with the people that were trading. Maybe not. It was really on my end because I was like, they don't know what they're doing. I don't. I'm not learning anything. I'm basically gambling because I'm throwing money on earnings or I'm throwing money on stupid shit, and like it just wasn't working. It was not going my way. So I was like, shit, I don't know what I'm doing. And then like I see your videos, I'm like, all right, like this actually makes sense. Like something that actually makes sense is actually looking at the market and analyzing what's going on, not just whatever the hell I was doing. And that's when I had decided to join the team at the end of 2023, and it's been nothing but great since then.
Awesome. And so yeah, I feel like every trader kind of starts out in that gambling phase anyways. Like you kind of need to
Yeah.
get that out of your system to really like, okay, take it seriously and make it work. Um, but cool. What kind of stuck out to you, or I guess my videos that kind of made you really want to learn more about the strategies I did, or what kind of made sense about it compared to what you were doing?
Honestly, my favorite thing was that I had noticed that in some of your videos you would mention like I'm not out here bullshitting with all these indicators and this and that and stuff. Like you were really like you understood the market, and I was like, that is what I need. I would see like people having this indicator and that indicator and these EMAs and this and that and this, and I'm like, there's more to that because I know there's more to that because it's big money that's moving the market. I just don't understand it. I don't understand what to even look for. So that was like the biggest thing that I would see you mention, and then like obviously you talk about supply and demand. You were talking about a lot of things that I hadn't even known about because the people I was learning from, it wasn't good. It was making money randomly and it wasn't working, and like I said, it was gambling. But I like that. I like that you mentioned that, and I was like, yeah, I've never heard anyone say that. I heard people always are like, you need this indicator and this and this and this is the trick to this. And like I was like, someone's out there that has to like not be bullshitting me. Like I just couldn't tell, and I like that. So
Yeah, that's great. Um, and as a trader, as you know, like strategy was definitely a huge thing for you. You were just kind of gambling, doing your thing. And going off of that, right, a huge aspect is going to be psychology and risk management, right? So were those
yeah.
issues that you also had
Um,
before you found me, or was that all set?
no, those were issues for sure. I was trading literally with no stop losses. Like literally, like I don't even know. Like sometimes it would go against me, and like the people I was with, they would be like, "Add more, add more, add more," and like it was just like it was some shit. It was so stupid. And then like you said, the psychology aspect of things. It's like in the moment, I was just like trusting these people. And then like sometimes it would work and I felt like it was working. But I remember like at the end of 2023 going into the course, like I was really like messed up mentally because I was too scared to like hold. Like I was too scared to hold to a take profit. I was too scared to even enter a trade at times because I was so used to just like not even like really entering correctly. So I didn't know what to expect. I couldn't even trust myself at a certain point. But I've definitely gotten over it now. But like it was bad for sure.
Yeah, totally get it. And that's, like I said, people go through that journey, and that's kind of what most people need to go through anyways. But luckily you kind of got out of that. So let's kind of talk about, since joining. So you joined literally the start of 2024. It's
Mhm.
currently March, so it's about like 8 weeks since then. And so why don't you talk about what happened as soon as you joined, right? Because obviously we kind of hit you with a lot of information, you're learning a new strategy. So how did that kind of impact you, and what initially happened kind of when you joined?
I mean, for me, like I said, it was definitely a lot of information going in, but I also knew like I was fully committed. So like, I mean, initially, whenever I joined, I was like, shit, I'm all in. Like, I was right on the videos right whenever I got in. Like from day one, when I got accepted in, I was on there. I was watching the videos, and I was just going through the course. I was trying to not rush through it, understand what I was watching, but like, I, I was all out for it. I didn't trade. I noticed like at the start, it was like, don't trade until you're getting through the course and you actually understand the material. So, I got to take a nice mental break for sure while learning from the market, and then I don't know. Like I was just all out learning. That's what I did at the start. I was all out. I was like, dude, I'm gonna get through this shit and I'm gonna do this. Like, I'm gonna do this. And I remember getting through the course and probably like I don't know, I think it was like a couple weeks, like maybe I was watching them every day, like on weekends, like whatever. So I got through it and I remember going in and I took my first trade and it worked. And I was like, all right, like, hey, and I definitely wasn't just like instantly, the first couple trades worked, and then like I felt like I was forcing myself in trades at a certain point and this and that. And there's a lot of stuff I've had to work on myself to get to that 10K that I had made. Um, I just want to keep it up at this point, but I was just learning, man. It was all about learning. That's what I wanted to do right when I got in.
100%. And so you came in, and obviously in the beginning we had you not trade, kind of just stick and learn for a little
Mhm.
bit. You eventually got trading. So your account was at around 30K, right?
Yeah.
And so why don't you kind of talk about the account growth? 'Cause I know you took it up quite a bit, want to take some profit out. So what did that look like?
The account growth at the start, like I said, I felt like I was still struggling, but I had just started. So obviously there's nothing I can, that's just the way it's gonna go. I had to get into the swing of things and figure out how it started working. Um, but I would say probably like going into probably like the third week of January, I feel like things started clicking for me hard. So from there to the absolute like end of February, and I do think because I had talked to Zach in the video, and I do think at times I might have been oversizing, and he mentioned to me how like because it was going my way, like I was oversizing and I was making a lot, but he explained to me like, hey. Keep your sizing together, and because when that does happen, it's going your way. But if it doesn't go your way, it might go against you. So I think I grew the account pretty fast just because the confidence started hitting after I saw the things working. I was like, this shit works. Like, I'm gonna put the money in. This is working. Like, I'm hitting it. I'm hitting it. And I've dialed back a little bit on sizing now, and it hasn't like affected anything because actually it's making it better. Now I'm not sizing as bad, but I'm still getting pretty much the same amount of money. So it's just like I think as far as the growth goes, though, whenever you finally start to see the things clicking, it's just a big confidence boost. What it was for me, and it was just a month of it felt pretty quick that it went up, but then take the money out was a great feeling.
Yeah.
Taking the money out and telling myself like, holy shit, like I just made this money in the stock market, and I did it out of confidence. I didn't do it out of gambling, so that was a
Yeah.
big deal for me.
No, it's a great feeling, and that's a huge, problem a lot of traders have is they'll keep oversized and keep compounding. They'll just try and take like if they have 30K, try and turn it a million in like a few months.
Yeah,
But it's really important that you take money out, and obviously, as you know, like that feeling of just being able to actually withdraw profits consistently, like it's incredible. It's a great
Yeah.
feeling. So awesome. So why don't you give a little background, kind of explain um what strategy you trade now? If you can give like a quick kind of overview of kind of what it is, how it works, because obviously we have a few different concepts that we like to teach. We also kind of make it work for you. So what are you kind of actively trading right now? What stocks are you looking at, and what you're kind of looking for to get in and out of a setup?
I mean, obviously, TLM being like a big thing. So I definitely look for TLM every single morning. I look for trades that I think will set up within it, but I find myself sometimes taking trades that may be outside of TLM, but they might be coinciding with the market structure, coinciding with supply and demand, with breaking of strong highs, holding strong lows, breaking of highs, looking for 50% pullbacks into demand, into or a change of structure where we're in the downtrend and we're going up. And that alone has been like allowed me to enter, a lot of trades that I didn't even see for a while. And then when I partner that with TLM, I mean, I'm just so confident. But I would say the aside from TLM, because that's like whenever I see that, I'm there. But the market structure, the price action of it, just being able to read, hey, like institutions might be in here, understanding where the liquidity is at, understanding, hey, these pullbacks aren't really what you're looking for. There's going to be a larger pullback that's going to take all these people out. And when all these people get out and then they go in short, and now it bounces the other way. Like that was a big one. I remember seeing that in the course and just understanding it both ways. I was like, holy shit, like, and I would go in and then I would stay patient. I was really picky about my entries. I still am. I'm really picky about when I enter, when I do something like that, because I like to have, a tight stop loss, stay very patient and get the pullbacks that I want. And if I don't see it, I'm just like, hey, I didn't get it. But I think partnering the two is what I've been doing. I mean,
Awesome. Yeah.
yeah,
No, that's spot on. And so, um, going for I mentioned, earlier in the interview, you said that a big thing for you is confidence, right? After like 3 weeks, you finally started to see things working, and then
yeah.
like you immediately saw confidence. So, um, why don't you talk the emotional side a little bit? I'm not sure if you hopped on a call with Logan or not, but like, what are some of the things that emotionally and psychology wise that have kind of helped you, after kind of joining the mentorship, whether it's just people in the chat or even if it's just like having a strategy that actually works?
Yeah. I mean, OCO orders is a big thing. So that like helps a lot. It helps you just like you set the order, you can walk away. But I mean, aside from that, having a strategy changed a lot for me because I remember, like I was saying, I was pretty much gambling at a certain point, and I was so scared to just like trade. Like I couldn't even trust myself. Like sometimes I would see a setup and I'd be like, all right, but then I wouldn't even take it and it would go my way and I'd be like, fuck, like what am I doing? Or I would take a trade and I would have it take profit. Like this is what I struggled with for a while and I just had to get over it. I would see it take profit. This was like in the first few weeks, like couple weeks, few weeks, I would see it take profit and I wouldn't hold to it. Like I would just get out early and then it would hit my take profit every single time. And I remember being on a call with Zach and he was just telling me, you gotta trust your take profit. You gotta trust in what you've learned. You gotta trust in your strategies. Like you didn't put the time in just for nothing. Like and it was playing out. So after that, after I started holding to where I needed to get, I started getting over barriers like that, being scared to enter a trade. I had that one for a while and just holding to take profits used to scare me because I didn't want to lose. I'd go up like $100. I'd be like, I don't want to lose. Like, but I need to hold. I need to do what the strategy is. Like, there's a reason I took the steps to begin with, and plus, like, you hear a lot of psychology things out there, just like on the internet, and just like from other people, from people in the course, like you said. I've read books. I've read a lot of books about just like that trading in the zone book. I've read that book and just stuff to like try and help you mentally. And I have not talked to Logan. I haven't got a chance to do that, but I should probably just talk to him and see what's up. I know he's helped a lot of people in the course as well. So, but there's definitely, I don't know. I feel like I was rambling right there, but
No, no. And so, like, yeah. So, for people that don't know, Logan is our psychology coach inside the Freedom Team. Is a licensed therapist. He's a trader. And
yeah,
it's honestly like it's cool to see that you don't even need him, right? That's a huge thing. A lot of other students love, but you just came in, and for you, just seeing the strategy work and having that build up your confidence is basically all you needed, which is great.
Yeah.
Um, was there any kind of like specific trades or maybe a specific video in the course or a one-on-one call or anything specific kind of in the journey that really was like a turning point for you that kind of clicked and like really got the ball rolling for you?
I remember I was watching a live, and Wesley had sent like this graphic in the course. This is one thing I remember. I mean, it all helped, but he sent this graphic in the course that really helped me. Like, it really just clicked in my head where the actual highs and the lows were, and it's all throughout the course. It's not like it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't know if I noticed it. And then he sent another thing in there, and I was just like, yeah, like wait a minute, like I've been seeing this every day and I've just been ignoring it. And I remember waking up the next day, I was like, all right, I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna wait to see the shit play out. And I mean, I don't know. That was definitely big for me. It was just a graphic. I don't know if you had seen it or not, but he had sent
Yeah.
a graphic in the chat, and that helped me a lot. Just basically solidifying what I kind of already knew, but wasn't maybe fully locked in my brain yet. Maybe I hadn't fully clicked, like you said. But that definitely helped a lot.
Yeah, so just having that kind of extra layer of like support and confidence showing you exactly like what's
Yeah.
happening and how to trade is kind of giving you that extra boost there. That's great. Um, cool. And so, what I'm thinking like longer term, like what are you looking to do with your trading? Is this something you're looking to um, make $1 million from, just do it consistently? Like what's kind of the plan going forward for you to help scale? And what are you essentially looking to do with your trading?
I mean, I'm not necessarily trying to put a limit on myself at any, you know what I'm saying? Like if I can get to the point where, I'm so good that and I've built up so much capital that I could make $1 million, that'd be great. I'm not gonna like run from the opportunity, but I mean, it was mostly just like a freedom thing for me. Like, I have the freedom to do things I enjoy. Prior to this, I was doing like I play basketball, like I have one hand. So I was playing basketball on the internet and I was like popping off like 2020 when I graduated. Like I was going to California, I was meeting famous people in my thing, basketball people and this and that, and it was getting crazy. And then I remember coming back home and like I didn't have any money. Like I couldn't afford to do what I wanted to do. I couldn't pay for consistently a cameraman. I couldn't pay for consistent editing, this and that. I was just like there were some things I just couldn't do, and at a certain point, like I don't know, it was like a fucked up point for me in my life, but like I had to stop, and I hated that I had to stop, but I also knew that I could approach it in a different way if I could find a way to learn to make money with the money I did have, because obviously you can't burn through it all. So I needed to learn something, and the course has brought freedom to me to where I can do other things. And then, like you said, I mean, shit, if I get good enough and I can make $1 million, why not? I don't want to really limit myself, but yeah.
100%. That's great. Um, and cool, just to end on the last question here, there's going to be people watching who are thinking about joining, maybe they're on the edge. What would you say to those kind of people who are, considering joining the mentorship but aren't quite ready to kind of put that foot forward yet?
I mean, me personally, I believe that if you are willing to put in the time, I mean, this was a life changer for me. I say do it. I mean, I mean, I always tell myself like shit, like it's corny, but like you never know until you try. Like, and I've tried so much shit in my life. Like, I remember people telling me whatever, this wouldn't work, that wouldn't work. I've tried, things work out. Sometimes things don't. You got to learn for yourself. But this, when I took the step and it worked. So like, I definitely recommend if you're on the edge, do it. Like if you're gonna actually put in the time, you gotta learn. You gotta, like 8 weeks. If you can't put 8 weeks towards something, like I'm not trying to be rude to anyone, but like you gotta put in the time. It just is what it is. That 8 weeks, yeah, 8 weeks for me, and I'm like, oh my god, like this is happening. So just do it. Definitely do it.
Awesome. Love it. Well, Jacob, I really appreciate the time. Obviously, I see you posting some profits in the chat and you're still going to be in there for a while. So, very excited to keep you growing. Yeah, you could obviously hop on a call with Logan if you even need to, but seems like you're already doing good on your own. But appreciate you taking the time. Keep on crushing it. We'll do another interview like, 3, 6 months down the line, kind of see where you're at.
Yeah.
and then we'll just go from there. But appreciate the time, and I'll see you inside the Slack.
All right, man.